evening, everyone, and welcome back to another At America TV event with me, Jasmine. I hope you all are doing well. So for those of you joining us for the first time, At America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. We have temporarily moved to a digital platform so you can still enjoy all of our events at home. So for this evening, we will be discussing 2021 NFL previews and predictions. But before we begin, I would like to share with you that At America is having a giveaway as part of our 10th anniversary celebration and also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We're inviting you guys to participate so you guys don't miss out on a chance to receive a pair of Apple AirPods. Now, for those of you who don't want to miss out on that, stay tuned until the end of the program because that's when I'll be sharing how to join. And also, before we begin, I would like to share with you our question for this evening. The question is, true or false, the NFL allows games to be forfeited? So is that fact true or false? You guys can participate in our social media quiz by commenting on our social media platform on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. And for those of you who got the answer correctly, you will get a live shout out from us at the end of the program. All right, without further ado, I would like to invite our speaker for this evening. Please give a warm welcome for the founder of NFL Fans Indonesia, Mas Fadil Arik Saputra.
Okay, thank you so much Jasmine for the introduction. Dan balik lagi sama gue Fadil, founder NFL Fans Indonesia. Dan akhirnya setelah libur Februari, Maret, April, Mei, Juni, Juli, 6 bulan ya, 6 bulan karena kemarin preseason kita anggap itu football udah mulai lagi. Jadi minggu depan kita kembali nonton NFL. Alhamdulillah jadinya buat kita fans NFL yang memang mungkin kalau dibanding sama olahraga US yang lain nih, fans NFL paling sabar karena liburnya paling panjang, 6 bulan ya. Nah, akhirnya minggu depan bakal kick off antara Tampa Bay Buccaneers lawan Dallas Cowboys tanggal 10 September jam 7 pagi. Jadi jangan lupa nonton, ikutin semua musim dari awal sampai habis nanti Super Bowl 55 bulan Februari minggu kedua karena musim ini match-nya nambah 1. Jadi di NFL bilangnya the biggest season ever. Nah, jadi gue sangat berterima kasih banget sama At Amerika dan juga Kedubes Amerika karena ini udah tahun keempat kita ngadain acara di At Amerika. Jadi buat kalian yang mungkin baru join, nah ini udah tahun keempat. Yang kemarin udah join, mana suaranya? Tulis aja di komen ya. Nah jadi nggak pakai lama, langsung aja nih kita mulai aja acaranya. Nah ini kita ada tiga pembicara ya. 2 dari kita, 1 spesial. Kalau yang tahu satu spesial siapa? Pasti tahu dong siapa orangnya. Kalau belum, nah pasti lo semua pada kaget, otomatis. Nah, ini juga karena nanti obrolannya bakal banyakkan bahasa Inggris. Nah, nanti gue juga bakal translate ke Indonesia karena kalian kan pasti maunya juga ada ini kan di translate ke bahasa Indonesia. Tenang aja, ntar gue translate kok. Inti topik dari pembicaraan kita. Nah, jadi buat pertama gue bakal kenalin ini podcaster kita 2 orang. Yang satu yang udah biasa ngisi podcast mingguan, ini dia fans Texans yang masih galau ya, ini gimana nih situasi QB-nya ya. Nah, pertama kita ada Muhammad Barokah, podcaster kita. Halo Barokah.
What's up NFL fans?
Nah, yang kedua ada ini fans Packers yang pas di off season tadinya sempat galau nih, Rodgers balik gaya ternyata beneran balik. Ya, ini ada Julian Tirtajaya yang dia reguler di fantasy kita di Zero Bus. Nah, buat kalian main fantasy, gue udah nyobain semua fantasy, FPL, NBA, bla 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 dan lain-lain. NFL itu fantasy yang paling stres, sumpah serius. NFL fantasy yang paling stres. Nah, makanya daripada kalian stres, dengerin dan nonton Zero Bus yang ada Julian nih. Nah, Julian, saya dulu.
What's up, everyone? Glad to be here and happy to represent the Packers.
Oke, nah tuh dia pakai jersey Packers ya. Nah, ketiga, nah ini yang spesial. Jadi kita ada salah satu speaker langsung dari US Embassy. Kalau dilihat dari kaosnya, itu logo bintang. Nah, minggu depan bakal main nih lawan Buccaneers di kick-off musim 2021. Ada Mark Neighbors. Hello, Mark Neighbors. How are you today?
Hello. I have one question for everybody. How about them Cowboys?
We the boys. Nah, itu kalau gue kasih trivia dikit, intermezzo dikit ya. Ini Cowboys ini jadi tim yang disorot di TV series tahunan NFL yang dipersembahkan di salah satu TV kabel ya, namanya Hard Knocks. Nah, siapa yang udah nonton Hard Knocks? Gue udah nonton kemarin. Memang kemarin itu episodenya lumayan berat ya, karena udah mulai cutting player ke main roster. Nah, jangan lupa nonton tuh ya, Hard Knocks. Nah, jadi ini buat kita, buat awal ini acara, kita langsung aja mulai presentation. Nah, berarti mulai dari sekarang gue bakal ngomong Inggris, tapi nanti seperti yang tadi gue bilang, gue bakal translate ke Indonesian. Nah, jadi for presentation, Julian, you want to present for our event?
All right. So we got a quick presentation. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so me and Baroka representing NFL Fans Indonesia, we're gonna talk just a little bit about the NFL, just in case some of you who are watching might not be that familiar with the NFL. So we're gonna give you a quick preview of like what the NFL is, and also like what's gonna happen in the new NFL season this year. So I'm gonna start with the NFL in general, and then I'm just gonna give a quick overview. First is the game. So what is American football? I think a lot of people, they only know like maybe from like watching movies and like seeing people in like big helmets and big pads, but they don't really know what's going on because like all you see is like people hitting each other and then like, you can't even see the ball. But football is basically like 11 versus 11 players on the field. It's the offense, the defense. So you can see here on the screen, the circle is the offense and the X is the defense. Usually this is what the coaches use to represent the kind of plays they want to do. And the winner wins by scoring the most points. Well, as of course, all sports are like that. So if you watch American football, you might be wondering why stop and go, and that's because like to march down the field, the offense has 4 chances to move forward 10 yards, and on every chance it begins with a step to the quarterback and ends when the ball or the person with the ball hits the ground, and that's 1 chance. And then so in that scenario, they have 4 times to do so to march 10 yards. And the length of the field between one end zone to the other, and the end zone is where you score the touchdown, is 100 yards. So in general, like the offense would have to march 10 times, assuming they march 10 yards every time to score, and that's how you score. And the score is, if you score a touchdown, is 6 points, and then you score an extra point, that's 1 additional point, and you can try a 2-point attempt that gives you 2 points. And moving on to the league itself. So the NFL is actually not the only American football competition that exists in the world. There's also the NCAA, which is college football, which I'd say is as big as the NFL in terms of fandom and following in the US. And that's where the majority of NFL players played before they entered the NFL. And there's also other leagues like the CFL, which is Canadian Football League in Canada, and also the XFL, which is still a new league. Well, they existed before but they rebooted their league, and I think they're about to start in like next year or in 2023. But they're much less popular than the NFL. So when a player reaches the NFL, I'd say they have reached the pinnacle of American football, because like that's the highest level of competition for American football. And in the NFL itself, there's 32 teams. So you can see here, there's like 32 logos, and each logo represents 1 team in the NFL. So these 32 teams, they are divided into 2 conferences, the American Football Conference and the National Football Conference, which there's a historical meaning behind the names. It was from when the NFL and the AFL merged into becoming the NFL. So the the original NFL teams became the NFC conference, and the original AFL teams became the AFL conference. And each conference, they have 4 divisions: the East, the North, the South, and the West. And these teams, they will play rivals in their divisions, and also rivals from another division, and also rivals that they play again in in their opposite conference, which the schedule is rotated every year. And you can see like a lot of rivalries. So if Mark is a Cowboys fan, then his rivals are probably the Eagles and the Giants, because they're in the same division, and they usually hate each other. And if you watch in a stadium, there's gonna be like a lot of like booing between the opposite fan base. But you also get like different conference rivalries, like the New York Jets and the New York Giants. They're from like they're in a different conference, but they're from the same city though. So there's also like an inner city rivalry kind of thing. And last but not least, the players. So if you look at the pictures, the players, these are NFL players from the past until now. You can see a lot of legendary players, especially if you've been following the NFL for a while. And these players, they represent the long history of the NFL, which is that a lot of great players has existed in the NFL, and they also currently exist in the NFL, and they will also exist in the upcoming NFL future. And these players are exactly the reason why you and everyone, including us, should keep watching the NFL, because they are what makes the NFL great. And also, while you're at it, you should also play fantasy football, because as Fadil has said, fantasy football is the most stressful fantasy game in the whole world among other sports, but it's also the one that gives you the most rewarding feeling. And now we're gonna move on to Barokah, and he's gonna talk about what's gonna happen in the new NFL season.
Okay, thank you, Julian, for your excellent presentations. But right now we are going to enter into the preview of 2021 NFL seasons. Maybe a part of it was a review because it's already happened, but some of it will be a preview based on what it will be happen. Into the next slide. So this is one of the biggest events in NFL seasons, which is NFL draft, that was only happen one time every years. And this is the event that basically had that such anticipation towards every fan base in NFL, because maybe the new rookie from their pick in NFL draft will happen to be the savior of their franchise that they needed. So this year's is very special because last year the draft, the 2020 draft, was held online actually. So Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, announced their picks in his own mentions, which is kind of unique and kind of funny at the same time. But this year they held these events, the 2021 NFL draft in Cleveland, Ohio, in their stadium, First Energy Stadium. And boy, it was such an atmosphere in there. And you have to be there to feel the emotion of every fan base there. And this year's was headlined by 5 quarterbacks being drafted in the first round. First of all, there is Trevor Lawrence, wearing number 16 in Jaguars uniform. And then Zach Wilson, number 1, picked by New York Jets in 2 overall. And then there's Trey Lance going to the 49ers. And then Justin Fields wearing the Chicago Bears in 2021 season. And of course, there is Mac Jones, drafted by the New England Patriots, which maybe sometimes people maybe have assumed that he will be the successor of Tom Brady in the New England Patriots. But who knows? Maybe we can see that in the future. And after NFL draft, there is another events in the next slide. So there is NFL free agency, which is basically almost the same as other major sports in America. There's a free agency where every team sign their newest players, resigning their old players and giving them extensions. And this year's is pretty much unique because instead of salary cap, salary cap is basically how much NFL team can spend in the 2021 season. But this year's the salary cap is smaller because there is a pandemic, and pretty much every team has like the financial loss in their books. So it will be a smaller cap space this year's. And this year, 2021 free agency was notable because there's some major names. Like I kind of put it two names there for obvious reasons. First of all, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is the favorite wide receiver from Fadil. And then there's Trey Hendrickson of the Saints defensive end that signed a huge contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. And then, of course, it's a running back that Julians love very much. It's Aaron Jones. And after free agency, there is this the long program of training camp from every teams that basically was being used to select players for the regular season. So training camp, maybe some NFL team, or not some, but all of them, starting with the 90 players so that they can training together and try to choose which player that would be suited best for the team in the 2021 seasons. And also it would give an opportunity to the unnoticed, because unlike any major sports in America, NFL gave a lot of opportunity to the undrafted players. For instance, any legendary player that goes into Hall of Fame, such as Warren Moon, that used to play for Houston Oilers. And then there's some notable players like Kurt Warner, actually undrafted and goes into Hall of Fame too. And then there's Antonio Gates, Tony Romo, which Mark Neighbors probably really familiar with him. And of course, there is Aaron Foster, which is also one of my favorite players in Houston Texans. And also training camp basically to test new tactics, new schemes, because sometimes they go through major changes in their management, in their coaches, and then they want to test some new things for the upcoming seasons. And of course, after training camp, we go to the main event. Let's go. Of course, it's the 2021 NFL seasons. And as Fadil said before, it will be bigger than ever. It will be 17 games instead of 16, and it started on September 9th, their time actually. So in our time, it will be September 10th in the morning. So there will be 17 games in the NFL. And yeah, it's basically a really a kind of complicated the schedule actually, because there are 17 games. It become convoluted in itself. So this is some of the notable games in the previous seasons. Like, in the previous slide still. So there is Cowboys versus Falcons, which is notable for Cowboys comeback or Falcons blew the lead again. And then there's Ravens versus Browns, and then there's Chiefs versus Raiders. And of course, there's the funny moment where Tom Brady showed the fourth sign in the Chicago Bears versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers games. And after 17 games in the NFL seasons, we'll go to the playoff. Oh, but before the postseason era, there will be special games for this year's. Like I said, in September 9th, there will be opening kickoff. There will be NFL London games will be back, will return in October 10 and 17, in 17 Octobers. And the NFL Thanksgiving, which is basically like a festivities in the US as a holiday for NFL teams and also for the fan base. There you go. This is the postseason where every team in the NFL waiting for this. There will be 14 teams that will play in NFL postseasons. There will be 3 wildcard games from each conference, and then the winner of the wildcard games will go to the divisional games, and then they go to conference finals, and the winner from each conference will play in the finals, which is Super Bowl 56. They will be playing the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. And when will that be? It will be in February 13, 2022. Who is the halftime show performers? We will see. We'll announce it maybe In the near December, January, they will announce who will perform in the halftime show.
I think that's all for the presentation.
That's all for us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Julian and Baroka for the excellent presentation. Jadi, kalau gue translate dikit tadi itu intinya adalah preview buat musim 2021. Tadi Julian udah jelasin NFL itu apa ya. Nah, makanya NFL itu memang salah satu olahraga yang beautiful gitu. Beautiful. Karena memang nggak sekedar asal hantam, lempar, tangkep, lari, dan lain-lain. Ini kalau lu pelajarin lagi lebih detail, itu ada taktik-taktiknya yang kalau lu mendalami lebih lanjut tuh, wah gila sih itu NFL olahraga yang sangat kompleks tapi menyenangkan kalau dipelajari. Nah, terus Baroka tadi udah jelasin ininya ya, apa aja yang dilakukan di NFL saat off season ya, sampai nanti Super Bowl kayak draft, training camp, preseason, regular season, postseason tuh aka playoff dan Super Bowl. Okay, then after the presentation, we are going to discuss. This is the main event, yeah, because this will be a very, very long discussion.
Excellent.
Because last year we have 0 to limited attendance, but now we have full capacity. So fans are back to the stadium. They will cheer their favorite team. They will boo the opponent team, and we are going to watch NFL as usual before pandemic. Yeah. Okay. So, Mark,
boo your own team. Playing poorly.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna discuss with Mark, Julian, and Baroka. So,
right.
First, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. Oh, this is like Christmas and Eid and Easter and all the holidays at once.
That's a great explanation of we going through a long holiday for 6 months waiting for NFL, and finally here we are next week, 10 September, 7:20 a.m. Western Indonesian time. Okay. Right. Okay. So, Mark, your team, Dallas Cowboys, what do you think of last season?
Honestly, last season, I feel like it was almost as bad as the pandemic. They were
my goodness.
That defense was so embarrassing. And then so many injuries on the offensive line. And it was just a big mess. And I felt like Coach McCarthy looked completely overwhelmed by everything. I know he said he spent a lot of time after he got fired by the Packers studying analytics. I don't think I could see that on the field very much. Who knows? I mean, he was dealt a very rough hand because of all the injuries, but it was hard to watch. It was tough.
Okay.
I remember when they had it was Ben DiNucci.
Start,
and I was like, who is this guy? Man, that was a rough evening. I mean, I am hopeful for this season because I can't imagine it can be much worse than last season.
Okay, so tadi gue tanya Mark gimana Cowboys musim kemarin, kata Mark Cowboys musim kemarin sama jeleknya kayak pandemik. Defense-nya aur-auran, terus juga play-nya banyak yang udah sampai bingung nih fans Cowboys. Bahkan pelatihnya yang sekarang masih melatih ya, Mike McCarthy, yang dulunya di timnya Julian Packers dan sempat juara, sekarang jadi head coach-nya Cowboys. Udah pelajarin timnya tapi masih juga bingung ini timnya kenapa ya. Nah, jadi kita lanjut lagi sama Mark ya. So Mark, last season was a devastating moment when Dak Prescott has a very gruesome injury. I watched it when he played against Giants, and Oh my, that
It was
his
awful.
feet was oh my, I can watch it. What do you think when Duck
Oh, I was
had
actually at a bar with a friend of mine. We were
Mhm.
sitting outside,
Yeah.
and I think I just started crying.
Oh my.
Oh no.
It was too much. I was so devastated. I was like, oh, he was playing so well too. I mean, just
Yeah.
up numbers, incredible yardage, getting, keeping keeping the defense from getting him, even though he had no offensive line, and finding open receivers after scrambling around.
Yeah.
And then, it was that. Especially once what came after with Garrett Gilbert and Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well have just had me play quarterback. It was so bad. It's so painful. Just there's no hope once he was lost.
Yeah, oke, jadi gue translate lagi. Tadi gue tanyakan, Mark, bagaimana kemarin pas ngeliat Duck cedera parah? Kata Mark lagi ibaratnya kalau sini nongkrong ya, nongs gitu. Nongs sama temennya, lihat Duck cedera, Mark ibaratnya pengen nangis. Karena Duck mainnya sangat bagus, dan juga yardage, passing yard dia tinggi banget, bahkan dia cedera sampai 2 minggu masih jauh lebih tinggi dibanding starter quarterback yang lain. Terus juga diganti sama Garrett Gilbert dan QB yang sekarang juga udah dirilis ya, Ben DiNucci. What a name. Nah, bahkan Mark aja sampai bilang kalau bisa gue aja deh yang main deh. Ini gara-gara QB-nya juga, aduh, wow. Even though Andy Dalton playing, you still kind of disappointed.
I had no faith in Andy Dalton. I mean, he seems like a very nice man, but no.
So for your info sekarang, Andy Dalton jadi QB1-nya Bears, bukan Justin Fields. Nah, sekarang kita langsung loncat aja ke kita loncat ke ini ya, ke Julian ya. Karena tadi gue ngomong Bears, nah ini Packers ini rival utamanya Bears. Now we are jump into Packers preview ya for a little bit, and also talking about Justin Fields. So Julian, about your team first, Packers. How do you feel when that Aaron Rodgers drama happened and finally he came back and he finalized his new contract?
Yeah, before I'm going to talk about the Packers, I'm just going to say, I don't consider the Bears as a rival of the Packers. I just consider them as the little brother.
Little brother, not rival.
Who's just chasing around the Packers, just trying to annoy them, but always get beat up. So Justin Fields, we'll see. They can talk all about the hype, but we'll see when he's on the field.
Okay. So about Packers, so
about the Packers, I really want to say that from the beginning, I believe that Aaron Rodgers is gonna be back at least for this season. But when he was actually gonna be back, I had a huge sigh of relief, and especially towards right before, it's he posted that Instagram story with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen together with Devontae Adams, saying that it's their last dance. Yeah, but obviously, I think this year it's the Super Bowl or bust for the Packers, because the last 2 years, the Packers have made it to the NFC Championship, but they haven't been able to make it to the Super Bowl. In the 2019 season, they lost to the 49ers, and then they lost last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So hopefully this year, and I believe it, just with maybe 1% of pessimism in my mind, that the Packers will make it to the Super Bowl. Hopefully, I don't jinx it here, but I'll see the Packers in Super Bowl 56.
Oh, okay. What a bold prediction. So, jadi gue translate lagi.
Yeah,
tadi gue tanya Julian,
a field goal when you're down 8 points. Just remember that.
Oh yeah, that. Oke, so gue translate lagi. Tadi gue tanya Julian, gimana tadi? Gimana pas dramanya Aaron Rodgers ya pas di off season? Katanya dia lega ya. Aaron Rodgers akhirnya balik, walaupun sempat di Insta Story ngepost sama Devontae Adams, ngepost Michael Jordan sama Scottie Pippen, yang banyak media ngartiin itu kayaknya The Last Dance ya. The Last Dance. Oke. Nah, terus tadi awal-awal gue juga tanya kan, ini kan Bears kan rivalnya Packers. Kata Julian, Bears bukan rival. Bears itu adiknya Packers. udah ada trash talk ya sebelum musim ya. Wah, ini udah panas ya ini karena Bears sama Packers itu adalah the oldest rivalry in NFL. The oldest, the longest ya, it's same. Oke. Nah, terus terakhir Julian bilang semoga Packers, bukan jinx ya, semoga Packers masuk Super Bowl 56. Wow, what a bold prediction. Nah, oke, next kita ke ini ya, kita ini dulu ya, kita preview tim jagoan ya. We will preview our favorite team first, and then we will preview the whole league. Okay, so Oka is a Texans fans. Nah, Kak, what do you think of Deshaun? Sorry, before Deshaun Watson, your team hired new GM Nick Caserio from Patriots front office, and then a problem occurred when Deshaun Watson said that he doesn't want to play with Texans. That's what he said.
Yes.
What do you think of this Watson situation?
I mean, Nick Caserio doesn't have that much choice because he came in the messy situations where they don't have a de facto GM after they fired Bill O'Brien, and then with the performance that they have in 2020 seasons, which they go 4-12 after they went to the playoff in 2019, there's like some sort of disappointment from Watson, and I understand why, because the defense has been so terrible last years. Yeah, Mark, you maybe want to talk about your defense being terrible, but mine may get far a lot worse than what you have in your team.
I mean, this is really, it's like picking between being poisoned or stabbed. I mean, it was
rather die slowly than quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you want to die? You're still going to die with these terrible defenses.
Nick Caserio came in with a lot of messy situations where Watson demands a trade, and then JJ Watt demands his own release, which right now he's in Cardinals. And it's sort of like, people all will be predict us as the worst team in the 2021 seasons because Watson is gone and there's no more player that noted that will elevate our performance. But I think I want to disagree a bit because Nick Caserio, I think, does a pretty good job based on what he has in his own hands. He signs a bunch of 1 year, 2 year deals players and brings out veteran presence into the team, which is what we really need because we need that leadership in that locker rooms after so many years. We only have like JJ Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, who is also in the Cardinals, coincidentally, and also there's Sean Watson. And I think it was not as bad as people think it is, based on what we have. But maybe we won't be that good in like 2021 seasons, but not as bad as the worst team in the NFL, I think, based on the preseason itself, which also we have a defensive coordinator, the new one in Lovie Smith, former Chicago Bears head coach. And then we got the rising offensive coordinator in Tim Kelly. And I think we've done pretty good job this season, these off seasons, but who knows, maybe in the regular season, it will be a different story.
Oke, jadi kalau gue translate lagi, gue tadi ditanya, Oka gimana menurut lo kondisi Texans, apalagi situasinya Watson, kata dia Watson pasti kecewa ya karena dulu DeAndre Hopkins di trade, kalau bahasa NFL trade for a bunch of chicken nuggets, chips, bunch of chips.
Chicken nuggets, it's too expensive for that.
Oh, too expensive. And terus abis itu juga JJ Watt yang mungkin pemain terbaiknya Texans dalam sejarahnya Texans di rilis, terus pergi nyusulin DeAndre Hopkins ke Arizona Cardinals. Nah, jadi tapi menurut dia juga Nick Caserio walaupun memang Texans ini beritanya kurang bagus, tapi menurut Oka ya Nick Caserio kerjanya juga nggak terlalu jelek-jelek amat gitu, masih ada hasil-hasil yang menurut fans Texans bagus gitu. Nah jadi ya intinya kalau misalnya tadi Mark Neighbors bilang defense Cowboys jelek, ya Texans apalagi way worse gitu, jauh lebih jelek gitu dibanding Cowboys. Nah itu Texans. Sekarang ini tim gue nih apa yang mau ditanya nih kalau tim gue nih apa unbeaten terus langsung ini blue the unbeaten apa aduh kesel gue sama tim gue.
Mungkin question dari gue deh Del.
Apa? What?
For the Steelers, of course, the question will be in their quarterback positions.
Yeah.
With Big Ben entering his like 38, 39?
Yeah, about 38.
Yeah. And yeah, he's not getting any younger. And
Yep.
You can see his performance is kind of like dipped a little bit from his own standards.
Yep.
So
He's
basically,
taken a lot more hits than a lot of other quarterbacks. I mean, because he's the guy, he likes to get in there and he doesn't mind getting hit, but then that way he's probably not going to have as long of a career as some of the other guys.
Yep.
But 38 years old is pretty much have a long career in itself, right?
Still pretty impressive. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my question maybe, Fadil, is what do you think Steelers will do with their quarterback situations past 2021 seasons? Maybe 21 season, they're still going to have Big Ben as the starting quarterback, but maybe in 2022 seasons, maybe you have a predictions or previews or what that.
Okay. For the record, I want to correct that Big Ben's age is 39 right now.
Oh wow,
39. So, what should Steelers do after 2021 season? So, in the off season earlier, I am pretty surprised, and lots of Steelers fans are surprised when Steelers signed Dwayne Haskins from Washington football team. I was like, for what? Because next year I predict that Steelers will pick a quarterback in first round, but after we signed Dwayne Haskins from Washington football team, I don't know. I guess he is Big Ben's heir. I don't know. Probably. But a lot of some Steelers writers, Steelers analysts say that Dwayne Haskins is not capable to become Big Ben's next successor. So if the GM Kevin Colbert will draft a quarterback in 2022, I think so. But currently we have 4 quarterbacks: Ben Roethlisberger, Mason Rudolph,
that's right,
Dwayne Haskins, and Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is going to injury reserve. So we carry 3 quarterbacks, and we still don't know who is the quarterback 2 for this season. Based on the preseason last month, if I have to choose who is the quarterback 2 for this season, I have to pick Dwayne Haskins, because Steelers playbook for offense is entirely new. When I watch Steelers playing in preseason, I am shocked, because last season Big Ben playing is like snap, quick pass, and done. Snap, quick pass, release the ball as fast as possible, and let the receiver do their thing. Now they are playing play action, run play, screen, check down, and I was like, what kind of offense is this? I have no idea. I thought that they will play a lot of quick pass like last season, but because in the off season earlier we signed a new offensive coordinator. His name is Matt Canada. His previous job was as a quarterback coach at Steelers. So he got a promotion to become offensive coordinator. So from that signing, it is a sign that this is Big Ben's last season, because his play is so quick, a lot of action play, and Big Ben's, and his age is 39. He can run as fast as he was when he was young. So yeah, in preseason, I think that Dwayne Haskins is more suitable there with Matt Canada's playbook than Mason Rudolph. So I think Dwayne Haskins is gonna be QB too. Yeah. So ya, kalau gue translate lagi, intinya Steelers ini Big Ben udah umur 39, playbooknya offense udah beda banget. Nah, kayaknya sih QB2-nya Dwayne Haskins kayaknya. Nah, oke. Next Yep.
I think Najee Harris is gonna like rush 40 times a game.
Yeah. So we drafted a running back. Yeah. Najee Harris. At first I want an offensive lineman, because our offensive linemen are entirely new. Marquise Pouncey, one of the best center in the league, is retired, and other starters are released. So yeah, I thought we will taking on offensive line in first round. Suddenly we pick Najee Harris, but after I analyze and watching some report from Steelers expert and analysts, I think it was a logical pick, because our run play last season was awful. 31st in the league.
Football is running the ball.
Yeah,
so it's always
not only passing. Yeah,
it's so very weird when you see a Steelers team passing so much.
Yeah. True. Last season our run play at 31st in the league. 31st.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. So because of that awful run play, and defense can read the offensive play quickly, because they know, Big Ben's gonna quick pass, so we're going to do some zone defense, scheme, and he going quick pass, and we're gonna intercept the ball. So yeah, at first we have unbeaten 11-0, and you guys, NFL fans, Indo followers, know my antics of that video. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let it become a meme for you all. Dang it. And then we losing three straight, and then win, and then won against Colts, and yeah, we won the division, but it means nothing because we got squashed by a Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
Yeah.
It feels hurt. It felt hurt when you got squashed by Cleveland Browns. Like, oh my goodness, Cleveland Browns was like a soft target for us to mock in AFC North, but now Cleveland Browns are great. So
They were the Houston Texans.
Oh, come on.
So yeah, I think AFC North this season will be very, very tough, because 3 young quarterback and an old quarterback named Big Ben.
Yeah.
Oke. Jadi ya intinya tadi gue udah bilang Najee Harris picknya ini ya, menurut gue logical karena run play-nya jelek. Jadi semoga aja run play-nya Steelers balik lagi. Oke. Kita bikin prediksi ya. Now it's prediction time.
All right.
So Mark, for you, I want to ask which team will be a dark horse or surprising team for this season compared to last season when this team had a bad record, but suddenly this season they will have a great season, or maybe even going to playoff. Which team do you think?
Yeah, well, they weren't terrible last year because they did win the division, but it was the NFC East. So
NFC East.
So it's not a real division, but I think at least the way they're playing these days, I think because Washington's defense is so good.
Yeah.
I think they may be. I mean, they played Tampa the best in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
That defense get after the quarterback, and they cause a lot of pressure. They force a lot of turnovers. They make the offense make a lot of mistakes. If they just have, decent offensive play, from Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tyler Henneke.
Yeah.
If they're either of them are just, even just okay, I think they actually could surprise. I could see them winning the division and winning a playoff game. I mean, obviously they're not going to get much farther than that.
Okay.
But I think they could be a dark horse.
You don't think the Cowboys will be a dark horse?
Oh, what's up? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You don't think the Cowboys will be a dark horse?
Every time I think that, then we go like.
So you want to do like a reverse jinx?
Exactly. I'm trying to reverse jinx. No, I think the Cowboys are going to be good just because the offense, when healthy, is so good, and the defense. I cannot imagine a defense worse than last year. So even if they're just normal bad, they'll be, I think, decent. But I just think Washington's defense is so good. I think it's going to be hard to compete with them. I just feel like they're really, really they're really coming up. And Ron Rivera is a really good coach. I trust him much more than Coach McCarthy. So I think they might be the dark horse. The other one I was thinking about too is same thing. I mean, they made the playoffs and everything, but with Jameis Winston in charge of the Saints offense, he looked great in the preseason. I was wondering, who is this guy? He's not throwing the ball to the other team every pass. So, I think they could surprise people too. I think maybe he finally has figured it out and the Saints will be good. Although, I mean, that's tough in the division with Tom Brady. So they could still be good and not make the playoffs just because it's going to be hard to defeat the super Darth Vader Tom Brady.
Oke. Jadi gue tanya Mark ya. Prediksi Mark siapa tim yang bakal ngejutin musim ini? Pertama WFT karena defense-nya bagus loh. Ya ada for me di WFT defensive line is one of the best because there are Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, and Darren Payne.
Yeah.
Four first rounder.
I mean, any team would take just one of those four guys.
Yeah.
They were that good.
It's really good. Yeah.
Ya. Jadi gue bilang DL-nya WFT itu salah satu yang terbaik di NFL. Nah, terus kayak contohnya kan pas di playoff kemarin WFT sempet nyulitin Tampa Bay ya pas di division wildcard run. Nah, wildcard run. Nah, mungkin musim ini ya surprising, teman. Semoga rekornya nggak losing kayak ini ya musim kemarin. Satu divisi losing semua. Nih, emang NFC is our most beloved division.
Or what we call the NFC East in our podcast deal?
NFC divisi rating. Divisi rating. Yeah, rating division. Because anything dalam kurung bad will happen.
Yes, very true.
Oke. Tapi ini sebelum lanjut itu ada link buat Q&A, tulis saja buat Q&A, nanti kita bakal jawab beberapa pertanyaan kalian setelah discussion buat preview musim ini ya. Oke. Next, Jul. Kalau lo based on your prediction, who will become most exciting team this season?
I think I'm gonna pick the Chargers. Because they have Justin Herbert at quarterback, and I think with Brandon Staley as the new head coach, their defense is gonna improve a lot because he was the defensive coordinator for the Rams last year when they had like the number one defense in the league. Most people would say, and I mean like the Chargers, they always have like good pieces in their team, but either they always get injured or their coaches are just not that great to begin with. I mean, but I think their defense is gonna improve a lot, especially since they still have Joey Bosa and also Derwin James is gonna be healthy again for now. Hopefully, I don't jinx it. Because like last year he got injured like in the beginning of the season, right? But yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of improvement, especially with the linebacker, their first round linebacker from last year, Kenneth Murray. He's also, I think he's also gonna be pretty good. He's gonna improve, especially because like Brandon Staley, I think his background was a linebackers coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the offense is gonna be as good, if not better. And I think the offense especially will have a lot of like players that are viable for your fantasy team.
Okay.
Like Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, and even Mike Williams if he can stay healthy. And also like here's a sleeper for all of you, Josh Palmer. I think they can all be like pretty good at helping your team win.
Oke, nah tadi Julian jawab tim mana yang bakal exciting musim ini, kata dia Chargers karena ada Justin Herbert, si pemenang Offensive Rookie of the Year musim kemarin, ditambah dengan head coach yang baru Brandon Staley yang pindahan dari Rams ya, berarti dia ini kalau ngekos ini tinggal ganti baju aja ya, ngekos di LA, tadinya kerja di Rams, Chargers ya udahlah nggak usah pindah, kos-kosan tinggal ganti baju aja gitu kan.
Stadionnya sama lagi
di SoFi Stadium kan. Nah, terus juga ini ya buat di defense-nya nih, semoga Derwin James yang udah cedera 2 kali sehat lagi musim ini, sama Joey Bosa yang mungkin salah satu pass rusher terbaik di NFL. Jadi sama ini juga di fantasy aspek, karena Julian sebagai ini ya pengisi di Zero Bus, ada beberapa pemain fantasy yang mungkin harus lu targetin di draft kayak Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, bahkan Mike Williams. Nah, jadi buat kalian fantasy tulis-tulis. Nah, sebelum gua ke Oka, I want to ask Mark, have you joined our fantasy league?
I did, yes. I signed up last night, I think.
So
I'm Crockett and Tubbs.
Wow! What a name!
That's the 2 policemen from the Miami Vice.
Wow. Okay, nah. So we have our own fantasy league. So for this season we have 8 leagues. Oh my goodness, 8 leagues consisting of 12 participants per league. Wow. So this season will gonna be way tougher than last season. So for you who unable to join, you can use this season for learning about fantasy. Next season you can join us and become the king of NFL Fans Indonesia Fantasy League. Okay. Next, Oka. Do you think which team will become the most exciting team this season?
Exciting team. One of my teams that I kind of predict will be exciting, already taken by, I think it was Julian, with Los Angeles Chargers. Which they are gonna be very good next seasons with Justin Herbert, with Austin Eckler, and then Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and the improved offensive linemen, and then the defensive side is also pretty good. So they are gonna be become a really big challenge for the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. My other pick actually is pretty much in the same conference, but maybe not many people talk about their offense. It's the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins?
Yes, it's Miami Dolphins.
Okay, why Miami Dolphins?
Because there's like a funny phenomenon in NFL where a second-year quarterback tends to get like the biggest leap of every young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe
like Mahomes, of course.
Big Ben. Correct.
Yeah.
Very like Mahomes, and then previous year there is Carson Wentz.
Yep, right.
2019 there is Lamar Jackson.
MVP.
2020.
Not like Trubisky though.
Hey,
Hey.
Trubisky. Our Lord Trubisky, the only MVP winner. Wow, Trubisky. But now he is in Bills, not Bears anymore. Ah, no.
Yeah.
Our Lord and Lord Trubisky. Continue.
From cold to cold conditions, I don't think it will be pretty much a wise choice. But yeah, the Dolphins, I think, will be better than last season because they still have pretty much the exact defense minus the Kyle Van Noy was being released. And no, not being released, was traded back to the Patriots. And then I think that with Tua Tagovailoa having like the full off seasons, the proper training camp, unlike in 2020, it will be a very good development for him to be able to adjust to the NFL because he's a left-handed quarterback, and left-handed quarterback is very rare. And wide receiver, the running back, the tight end also have to adjust on how a left-handed quarterback throws. And maybe the reason why Tua is not really showing off like Justin Herbert last year because he still need to adjust his playing style to the receiving core of the Dolphins. But I think Tua is the key towards Dolphins developments. With they also added 2 notable wide receivers like Jalen Waddle, 6th overall pick out of Alabama.
Yeah.
And then from my team too, Will Fuller still suspended for 1 game, but in week 2 he will return into the main roster.
Yep.
And then also the underrated tight ends like Mike Gesicki, which also has to be your sleeper pick in the fantasy for tight ends. Yeah. And then there's Miles Gaskin, who is kind of surprising, become like a dual threat running back last year and probably get a bigger role in the 2021 season. So yeah, with the defense as good as the Miami Dolphins and the offensive lineman is also improving like the Chargers, and the additional wide receiver like with Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle. I think Tua will have a breakout season last year's. So this is why bold prediction for next year's, for the 2021 seasons, is Tua Tagovailoa will have a breakout season as a quarterback for Miami Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. How about the defense? Because as we know, in Dolphins defense, there is Xavier Howard, the leader of the interception leader last season, the only player who made double-digit interception with 10 interceptions. So what do you think about the Dolphins defense?
Yeah, just as I've said before, their defense are very good. Maybe it was from the brain of their head coach, Brian Flores. Brian Flores too. So they have like this underrated defense that probably people are not really talking about player by players, but collectively, like, so basically like Brian Flores like making a Patriots defense 2.0, that there is not many like a superstar on the defense, but they are working effectively as a unit. So there's Raekwon Davis, Emmanuel Okwuegbunam, Christian Wilkins, and then linebackers. There's Jerome Baker, of course, defensive backs. There's Xavier Howard. There's Byron Jones. The additional of Jason McCourty, and they have their new rookie in linebacker in Jalen Phillips. So it will be really interesting to see if they can maintain that performance from 2020 into the 2021 seasons.
Okay, so
sorry.
Okay.
Jump in. I think
Continue.
Miami's helped too because with that division, I mean, outside of Buffalo, we just don't know what the Patriots are going to be able to do with Mac Jones. I mean, Belichick is a genius coach, but we just don't know. I mean, he's going to be a rookie, so there's going to be issues. And then obviously the Jets are always a mess. So that's so that helps Miami a lot too. I mean, they're not in like the AFC West or the NFC West, where the teams are just really, really strong from top to bottom.
Yeah.
They have a little more flexibility to kind of keep moving up. So I think that's going to help them too.
Ya. Oke. So, tadi Oka bilang dia pilih Miami Dolphins buat tim yang harus dilihat karena kuncinya ada di Tua ya. Tua udah ada weaponnya Jalen Waddle, ada Mike Gesicki, ada Will Fuller, ada Myles Gaskin, dan OL-nya udah meningkat ya. Kayak Chargers gitu. Dan juga defense-nya ada Xavier Howard. Nah, Xavier Howard, terus juga kemarin ngedraft Jalen Phillips ya.
Yep.
Jadi mungkin kata Oka nih prediksinya Tua Tago. Kalau di sana bacanya ini ya, kan kemarin sempat ada dispute dikit ya sama Adam Schefter ya. Ada nulis surat katanya bacanya bukan kayak gitu, gak ada Tango, ternyata bener Tango. Tua Tagovailoa. Nah, katanya Tua Tagovailoa bakal jadi pemain breakout musim ini. Nah, sekarang ini ya, kalau gue ya, for me, one team that I want to watch this season is Carolina Panthers because they sign Sam Darnold from Jets, which is maybe risky, but I know that he was playing bad because of Adam Gase. Gase. Oh my goodness.
He's the curse, actually.
He's a curse, yeah. Gase curse. Yeah.
Adam curse.
Yeah, Adam Gase curse. Yeah. So I hope that Sam Darnold will play great this season, and he has a lot of good weapons like DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, CMC,
Christian McCaffrey,
which for me in fantasy, you have to pick him in first round. You have to pick him if he is healthy, not like last season. Okay, but yeah, but last season CMC when he's playing, he played great for fantasy. Yeah, for team. Yeah, although Panthers lost, but for fantasy purpose, he is very, very reliable. And for defense, now the Panthers defense, this is what I want to watch in this season because they have a lot of in our terms Ngabbers defense. Ngabbers Generation Z.
Yeah, Gen Z.
They have Derrick Brown, Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, and other young defensive player. So I think this will become a very, very exciting defensive unit for this season. So for Panthers, you have to watch it. Okay, gue translate dikit. Panthers dapat Sam Darnold, desain, semoga mainnya bagus. Weaponnya juga udah ada Robbie Anderson sama DJ Moore sama CMC. Defense-nya juga banyak ngabers Gen Z ya. Ada Brian Burns, Derrick Brown, Jeremy Chin, terus juga JC Horn, jadi harus dilihat nih Panthers. Nah, terakhir,
not only from the defense, right?
The kicker.
Oh yeah, the kicker. I just remember. I'm so pardon me. I'm so sorry. So, for you guys who still wondering which team that I have to support, so Panthers kicker. His name is Ryan in US they call it Santoso. The proper way to say Santoso is Santoso, but it's a US way to say Santoso. So Ryan Santoso, he is a Indonesian descent. Yeah, his father is from Indonesia, and he is the Panthers starting kicker. So if you are still asking or wondering which team I have to support Panthers because there is Ryan Santoso. Oke, jadi Ryan Santoso keturunan Indonesia jadi starter kickernya Panthers. Jadi for you guys, please keep support Santoso. We are hoping that he will become next star kicker like Yang Hoku.
Exactly.
Yang Hoku, yeah. Yang Hoku, Justin
Kickers from
Tucker.
are the big stars now. It's great.
Yeah. Yang Hoku is one of the best kicker in the league. So we do really hope as Indonesian, although even though he is an Indonesian descent, but he still have Indonesian blood. So we do really hope that Ryan Santoso will become one of the best kicker and reliable kicker for Panthers this season. Okay, last before we enter Q&A, which team, Mark? Which team that will be disappointing this season?
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. I honestly think, I always think Sean McVay is very overrated.
Oh, really? Sean McVay is overrated.
I just,
Whoa, this is really perfect. Wow.
I'm gonna get all the Los Angeles residents are going to be very angry at me, but I just think, everybody talks about Matt Stafford too, and I mean, he's obviously he put up good numbers, but he was always doing it for terrible Detroit teams. I don't know that he could do that in the NFC West. Now he's playing in a real division, with real teams, and he has actual expectations on him for once. He can't go 6-10 every year like he does with Detroit. Yeah, I think the Rams are going to be disappointing.
Rams gonna be disappointing. Wow. Jadi tadi kata Mark Neighbors, tim yang mungkin bakal ngecewain musim ini ada Rams karena menurut dia Sean McVay overrated. Wow. So buat lo semua fans Rams jangan langsung panas. Nggak apa-apa. Ini kan prediksi. Nah, terus juga
if I could have him over Coach McCarthy, of course I would still take him.
Oke. Nah, tadi kata Mark, kalau misalnya disuruh pilih, gue lebih prefer McVay daripada McCarthy. Nah, terus juga ini juga Rams main di kalau kata Rams nih divisi yang sangat berat ya, NFC West. Ada Seahawks, ada Cardinals, sama 49ers. Jadi kayaknya Rams bakal ngecewain. So what do you think? Where Rams will go this season, Mark? Not going to playoff or just wild card or really bad, or what do you think?
I'm gonna put a stake into the ground. I'm gonna say they missed the playoffs.
They missed the playoff. Oh wow! So Mark,
8 or 7-9.
7 and 7. So because this season is
sorry, that's
17 games.
17 games.
They're going to go 8-9 or 9-8.
8 and 9. Oh, oke. Jadi prediksi Mark, Rams musim ini nggak masuk playoff dengan rekor 8-9 atau 9-8. Wow, oke. Menarik nih prediksi ya. Oke. Next, Julian, which team that will disappoint based on your prediction?
Yeah. So my pick is the Indianapolis Colts. And I really want them to be good. Like I really want them to win the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they have the luck to do it because, like, I don't know, with the Colts, I feel like ever since Andrew Luck, they always have bad luck. Pardon the pun there, but for some reason, every season they would have injuries to their core players. Like for example, this season, going into this season, T.Y. Hilton is already on IR, and then Carson Wentz and I think Ryan Kelly and Zach Pascal and the center and the wide receiver along with the quarterback recently got put in the COVID-19 reserve.
Yep.
So I really like the coach, like Frank Reich. I think he's like a really good head coach, or at least like a really good offensive mind. But for some reason, I'm not confident that they can fulfill their potential, even though I think their defense is really good with Darius Leonard, and then I forgot that one player they got from the 49ers last year. Him. I think with them as the core, and then also with their secondary, I feel like their defense probably would have to carry their offense for some of the games. And especially this is Carson Wentz redemption season. Supposedly, hopefully he doesn't falter under the pressure, and also that he can work together with Frank Reich to I guess revive his career after last season's performance with the Eagles.
Ya, oke. Jadi kata Julian, tim yang bakal ngecewain adalah Indianapolis Colts karena memasuki season banyak banget yang cedera, kayak contohnya Carson Wentz tiap season juga, Carson Wentz dirilis sama Eagles, dirilis sama trade ya? Dirilis ya sama Eagles ya?
Di trade sama
Eagles, terus cedera, terus tambah lagi OL-nya juga cedera, sempat ada yang Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson juga masuk COVID-19 list, T.Y. Hilton cedera. dan dan kayaknya nih kata Julian kayaknya juga Carson Wentz mungkin nggak bakal bisa ini ya tanganin pressure-nya ya karena ini kan Andrew Luck kemarin pensiun terus diganti sementara sama Philip Rivers pensiun sekarang Carson Wentz. Nah ini kan kita masih nggak tahu nih Carson Wentz apakah bisa balik lagi ke MVP season-nya pas musim 2017
ya.
2017 ya.
Yes.
Nah jadi Julian pilih Indianapolis Colts. Next, Barokah, which team do you think will be disappointing this season?
For me, who will be disappointing this season? I'm gonna take a little bit of wild guess, and I will say it will be Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why Ravens?
I also think that John Harbaugh is kind of a bit of overrated because he wants a ring and he get a lot of free pass over some of the bad decisions that he make, especially toward the draft. But recently they always nail their pick. But I think John Harbaugh is not as good as people think it is. Obviously not in the same tier as Mike Tomlin or some like Bill Belichick tier or Pete Carroll's. But I think that John Harbaugh is not like a big innovator in the offense. Also, their offense, talk about their offense, it's kind of bit of repetitive last seasons because there are not many options towards passing. That's why people kept making fun of Lamar Jackson as the running back number one for the Ravens. Yeah, because there's not much passing. There are not much variations toward their passing games, and it shows it become really hard for the Ravens to being sustainable as a top tier team, especially in the division like AFC North, where you got Cleveland Browns, who was really shining last seasons with a running game, and then Steelers is also last year pretty good. I don't know about this seasons. Maybe you want to talk about it, Fadil. And the Bengals, it's pretty much a wild card right now, not the postseason wild card, but more like something unpredictable can happen in the Cincinnati Bengals. So we don't know for sure. But the Ravens, the defense is good enough for them to be competitive, but the offense, they have to find a way to implement those passing games in Lamar Jackson's game, especially with their main running back, J.K. Dobbins, out for the seasons. So they only have like Gus Edwards and Justice Hill as their main running back, and of course Lamar Jackson's. It had to be done, because as a quarterback, you want to have like a complete game, like a complete skill set. As a quarterback, you have to be able to pass, you have to be able to run, which Lamar Jackson absolutely have a blazing speed as a quarterback. But as a passer, he needs to be has a lot of room for improvement for him.
Oke. Jadi Oka milih Baltimore Ravens karena Ravens ini musim kemarin mainnya sangat selalu diulang-ulang ya. Ibaratnya nih playnya pistol
monoton,
formation. Ya, monoton jadi pistol formation, ambil bola, snap, terus ini apa namanya? Read option. Nah, read option antara kasih ke running back atau lari gitu mulu kan. Jadi sangat repetitif, gampang kebaca. Jadi ya mungkin musim ini Ravens bakal menurun ya. Oke. Nah, next I want to ask about these QB rookies in first round. Okay, so probably for the first time in NFL history, 5 quarterbacks picked in first round.
No, 2018 there are 5. There were 5.
Oh yeah. I think for the first time.
In the first.
It's pretty rare occurrence where you have 5 quarterbacks in the first round. In the NFL draft.
Okay, so Mark, which one do you think will have a better rookie season this season? Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance,
Fields.
Justin Fields, or Mac Jones?
I think it's going to be between Mac Jones and Trey Lance. I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence, obviously great talent, but I mean, Jacksonville, who knows what's going to happen? They've got a college coach coaching them. I don't trust that they'll be able to put stuff together for him for a first. I think he's going to have a very rocky rookie year. I mean, the 49ers always so good defensively. They've still got George Kittle who can catch anything. So I feel like Trey Lance has got a good chance. And then with Mac Jones, Bill Belichick always has his evil dark magic sorcery. I feel like he might be able to do something. So it's going to be between those two. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'll go Trey Lance for now.
Trey Lance. Oke. Jadi siapa QB first rounder rookie musim ini yang bakal bagus di rookie seasonnya kata Mark? Kayaknya Trey Lance, karena Trey Lance ini coaching staff sama playbooknya cocok ya, mungkin cocok sama dia. Sama ada George Kittle yang salah satu tight end terbaik di NFL ya. Oke, Julian, which QB rookie do you think will have a great rookie season?
One of my picks is the same with Mark, Trey Lance. I think he's gonna have like a pretty good rookie season when he starts eventually for the 49ers. I think he's gonna have maybe like a couple of bad games, like maybe one or two or even three. But I think he's shown that he's a great talent. I really liked him even back when he was in college at North Dakota State. And in contrary to Mark, I actually think like Trevor Lawrence as a player will have like a good rookie season. Like I don't know about the team overall, but I think in the offense he has some pieces that can help him succeed as a quarterback. Like Marvin Jones Jr. is there. I think he's a very reliable receiver that's been very underrated, and he can be very reliable for rookie quarterbacks to throw to. And also they still have James Robinson, who last year, even though he was an undrafted free agent, he has shown that he can be like a pretty good running back. I think from the player standpoint, I would say that Trevor Lawrence will have a good season, but in that offense and with that team, I'm also in the agreement with Mark. I don't know if Urban Meyer can make it as an NFL head coach. We'll see, but so far the signs have been saying that it might not be a good idea for the Jaguars to hire Urban Meyer as their head coach. But we'll see. The season hasn't started yet. I might be wrong. We'll see.
Oke, jadi Julian pilih Trey Lance sama kayak Mark, tapi dia pilih ini juga ya Trevor Lawrence, karena Trevor Lawrence mungkin salah satu QB talenta yang ini ya, mungkin spesial dan langka gitu ya sama sejarah draft NFL. Jadi semoga OL-nya nggak ini ya, OL-nya jangan nembus mulu ya buat Jaguars. Aduh, kasihan tuh ntar Trevor Lawrence kena sack mulu. Kak, who is your choice for the best first round QB this season?
Easy. It's Big Mac. It's
Big Mac. Oh, Mac Jones. Why Mac Jones?
Yeah, I think that Mac Jones will have a better chance as a better quarterback from this rookie class, because he already plays into a stacked team in New England Patriots, of course, with head coach Bill Belichick, and then they're adding a lot of free agents this off seasons, like Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne will help Mac Jones, and of course there's two tight ends, big price tight end for them. There's Hunter Henry, there's Jonas Smith, and of course the defense is still very good. Actually, it's kind of underrated at this point. And yeah, it's a kind of a blessing of disguise when they release Cam Newton. I forgot to mention when I shown with Deck earlier. Yeah, with Cam being released by the Patriots, it opened this chance and opportunity for Mac Jones to become the QB that the Patriots fans want, that they are longing and waiting for them, because some people think that he will be the next Tom Brady, but I don't think he is there yet. But maybe in the next 2-3 years, maybe he will become as good as Brady or even more.
Oke. Jadi Oka milih ini ya, milih
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones karena Mac Jones ini kemungkinan besar bakal jadi, ya udah fix sebenarnya ya, udah pasti jadi QB1-nya Patriots karena kemarin sangat ngejutin ya, ngerilis Cam Newton. Wow, itu beritanya sangat-sangat heboh, dan dengan ini ya, dengan skill dan mungkin dan juga bantuan Bill Belichick, kayaknya Mac Jones cocok nih jadi franchise QB Patriots selanjutnya ya, setelah ditinggalin sama Tom Brady. Dan FYI, for your info, in week 3 this season, Mac Jones will face Tom Brady. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Week 3, 4th October, 7:20 a.m. Western Indonesian time. Wow. So this is a must watch. The GOAT versus GOAT in the making. I don't know. We'll see. Jadi jangan lupa nih, nanti Mac Jones bakal lawan Tom Brady. Nah, minggu ketiga tanggal 4 Oktober jam 7.20 WIB. Wajib nonton. Nah,
you notice none of us picked Zach Wilson. Poor Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because it's I'm sorry, but it's the Jets. So
yeah, exactly.
It's the
Jets. Like having to go play quarterback for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he succeeds, because their offensive coordinator is Mike LaFleur, and he's from the Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So their offense is very friendly to QBs, even not super talented QBs. So I think Zach Wilson, some people compare his style to Patrick Mahomes. So maybe with just a pretty good O-line, he can be, I guess, be a pretty good quarterback. But the Jets are always the Jets until they prove us wrong.
That's exactly it. I just don't have faith that they'll get it together. I mean, Zach Wilson, yeah, he's a very talented quarterback. So I do wish him well, but that's a tough
team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jadi tadi Julian mau nambahin, dia sebenarnya nggak kaget kalau Zach Wilson tiba-tiba bagus karena offensive coordinatornya Mike LaFleur, dia itu dulu ini ya sama Kyle Shanahan ya. Kyle Shanahan. Jadi dan OL-nya juga ada Mekhi Becton kan, jadi kemungkinan ya Zach Wilson bakal memimpin Jets ke rekornya lebih bagus, tapi masih losing, tapi ya nambah win dikit lah ya gitu.
3 wins maybe.
3 wins. 3-14.
Improvement ya.
Bit improvement. At least it's improvement. Nah, okay, now we enter the Q&A session. So the first question is from Abi. Good evening. Permission to ask to Mr. Barokah. Who do you think will become the number 1 draft pick in NFL draft next year? Team.
Yeah.
Not player, team.
Team. He wants me to say Houston Texans, I think. but no, that's not gonna happen. I still think that it will be Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Detroit Lions.
Even though Jared Goff as a quarterback, still Lions.
Still Lions.
He doesn't have anyone to throw to.
Yeah. No wide receiver. Just one, and his name is really unique. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Wow.
Yeah.
The brother of Packers wide receiver, Equanimeous St. Brown.
Equanimeous. Oh my goodness.
Wait.
What a name. Okay. So pick Detroit Lions. And then next question is from Kevin. So Kevin, he wants to ask Mark, Urban Meyer ran into some problem recently. Do the Jacks flunk out early this year, just like the prior season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all been chatting a little bit about that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence that Urban Meyer can quite do it. Just the college game is so different still than the NFL, especially just in terms of player management and just managing a long season, especially with an extra game this year. I just don't know that he can do it. I mean, he obviously is a great, an incredible college coach. So you hope he can figure it out, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be tough. And now, I'm more skeptical on Trevor Lawrence, whether he'll be good. I know Julian said he's still going to be pretty talented, and I hope so too, because he was very fun to watch at Clemson. But yeah, I don't predict Jacksonville coming back and being any kind of factor for at least a few more years. I just don't know that Urban Meyer has the stuff.
Okay, so
and additional, I want to add a little bit about Jacksonville Jaguars, because their general manager is Trent Baalke, former 49ers general manager. I think he was there in 2010-11 until 2014 until 15, and he is the general manager where the 49ers head coach at the time is Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, brother of John Harbaugh, head coach.
The brothers of John Harbaugh, and I think that maybe, I don't know if they can coexist or not, but I still remember when Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh have this some sort of like Cold War between them. And it will be very, very interesting to see the chemistry between Trent Baalke that has to handle another top college coach like Urban Meyer, with Urban Meyer that has to adjust with the NFL game and the way the NFL run in the league.
Oke.
So, we'll see.
Jadi tadi kata Mark buat ngejawab pertanyaan Kevin, kayaknya sama aja sih jeleknya, karena Urban Meyer ini sebenarnya buat di level college dia bagus, cuman NFL kan jauh beda banget. Jadi dia Mark agak doubt ya sama Urban Meyer buat ngurusin Jaguars, especially when they signed Tim Tebow. For what? For jersey sales or for?
I think what? So. I mean, it was just a weird publicity thing. I don't know. It was.
Tim Tebow was his quarterback when they won the national championship in Florida.
In Florida.
They're old friends, so maybe he's just doing him a favor.
And then suddenly he switched to tight end, which is very, very questionable.
Yeah, and he hasn't been playing. He wasn't playing football the last few years. He was playing baseball, doing TV announcing. So I mean, it was a very kind of a messy thing.
Jadi itu sesi Q&A kita. So that's the end of this event. Who will become the Super Bowl 56 champion? Julian already said that we will see Packers in Super Bowl 56. Let's see. Packers. How about your prediction? Who will become the Super Bowl 56 champion? Don't forget to follow our social media at Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We have TikTok, We have TikTok at NFL Fans Indo. Follow all the social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, NFL Fans Indonesia. Hopefully we can get into 5K subscribers for this season. Hopefully, because for your support, we will bring to you NFL information and updates as fast as possible so you can keep up with NFL in Indonesia. And then last but not least, if you want to chat with all of NFL fans in Indonesia, we have line open chat. So if you have line, just join. And see you in line open chat. Terakhir gua translate lagi buat tadi. Jangan lupa follow sosial prediksi kalian buat Super Bowl 56, jangan lupa follow sosial media kita di Instagram, Twitter, TikTok @NFL Fans Indo, YouTube juga jangan lupa subscribe sama klik lonceng sampai subscribe biar nggak ketinggalan sama update NFL di Indonesia. Dan semoga season ini kita bisa nyampe 5K subscribers karena support kalian bisa meningkatkan motivasi kita biar NFL bisa ditonton oleh seluruh rakyat Indonesia. Jadi thank you so much for your attention. Thank you Mark, Barokah, and Julian for attending our great event. So see you guys maybe after playoff, before Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
We may make event with at America again.
Sure, I'd love to.
Yeah, so don't forget follow our social media and join us at Line Up Chat. So see you in line and our social media, and we are going back to at America. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mas Fadil, for moderating our event, and also for Mas Julian, Mas Barokah, and Mr. Mark for joining as our wonderful speakers. I hope you all had a great time listening to our session this evening. So earlier in the event, I asked you guys a question, and the question was, is it true or false the NFL allows games to be forfeited? So is that true or false? That statement is actually false. The NFL will likely reschedule games as opposed to canceling them or declaring forfeits. So shout out to our winner from Instagram at OMG She Spoke. Now, for those of you who would like to participate in our social media quiz next time, you can tune in from the beginning of the event because that's when we'll be sharing our question. Now, earlier in the event, I also shared with you that At America is having a giveaway as part of our 10th anniversary celebration and also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We're inviting you guys to participate so you don't miss out on a chance to receive a pair of AirPods. Now, for those of you who don't want to miss out on that, you guys can go to the link at atam.tv/US Connected for more information. Now, for those of you who are wondering, how can you develop an awesome idea at an awesome place like At America? It's really easy. You guys can just go to our website at www.atamerica.org.id, select Creative Program, and go to collaborate with us. All proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. And while you guys are on our website, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter so you guys get updates about our events sent straight to your inbox. We won't spam you, we promise, just once a week. And also don't forget to follow us on our social media for fun content, event updates, and many more. I hope you guys have a great weekend and see you at the next At America TV event. Bye-bye, everybody.